Hi brujas, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be another tarot reading video, but it won't be like, it's going to be a little different because today we're not going to be reading about your present life. We are going to read about your past life. And I know like a lot of you are wondering, who were you in your past life? What happened to you? What was your life like? What kind of career did you have in your past life? Relationship? Whatever. That is one question that is always lingering in our heads, right? And so today that's what we're going to find out about. What were you like in your past life? And are there any karmic cycles? And was there any soulmate from your past life and the soulmate that was brought on over to this life? So that's what we're going to try and find out today. So stick around and we'll start the video. Okay, so this is a pick a pile reading, and I want you to pick a pile that resonates most with you. Whichever pile is calling out to you the most, that's the card, or that is the pile that will give you the message that you're looking for. So I really want you to take your time to really hear the pile calling on to you. And while you're doing that, let me just light some mugwort for the cards to cleanse the cards and cleanse you as well, to enhance psychic vision and to make this divination a lot easier and more accurate. If you want, you can pause the video to really take your time to pick the pile that resonates with you the most. And once you're done, we can move on to the next part. For those people who have chosen the Santa Muerte Tarot deck, this is your reading. Okay, so first, there are just so many there are so many court cards in this reading. It's insane. So I do think that there were a lot of people were involved in your past life, and I feel like it's kind of chaotic. I feel like in your past life you have been working, like you were working hard. You worked really hard, but you've been waiting. You have waited for the fruits of your labor to manifest, but you were still living in like a state wherein you did not enjoy material success. So I feel like, yeah, there wasn't a lot of stability in your life before, and it was making you really unhappy. It was making you unhappy. I feel like fighting was always there, like you were fighting maybe with your significant other or the people around you because of the lack of resources. Like no matter how hard you guys worked in your past life, it didn't matter. Abundance and prosperity was just not manifesting, and maybe that's why you were wanting in your past life, like you wanted to change your direction, maybe try something new, but there was something holding you back. I feel like there was something holding you back. Maybe it was, I feel like you had a really big family in your past life. I feel like these were all these court cards were your family. I feel like they were maybe your children or brothers and sisters, and maybe you had to, you were the one who had to take care of them. if they were your brothers and your sisters, and you had to take care of them, like you had the responsibility of raising and feeding people around you, and that's why it was kind of hard for you. So that's the main energy that's coming through here. And I feel like, since even if you are working really hard here, like even if you are working really hard, things weren't manifesting, and that's why there was a lot of guilt. I feel like there was a feeling of guilt, and maybe even a little like blaming the people around you. Maybe you were blaming your family for your situation. Like, I don't know, but something's telling me that the energy of why am I the one who's responsible for all of these things? Like, you guys can work and feed yourselves, but I'm the one doing this, and you should be thankful for that. That's the message that's coming through here. So I do think that that's the main message of your cards. There wasn't a lot of prosperity, and therefore there was also like a lack of happiness there. So that's one major problem in your past life. Okay, battles and wars. Okay, I really do think that there was finances. See, there you go. I do think that in your past life, there was a problem in finances, and maybe you guys were living off of the sea. So maybe the main source of income was fishing or something involving the sea. Okay, so it could be that your husband left you. Communal living. I really do think that you had a really big family. Okay. So, yeah, I do think that you had a big family, but I feel like, yes, all of the court cards here, I feel like they were showing sons and daughters, like children. But I do think that you were left by your significant other, or your the person that you were married to. And this was the reason why it made living kind of hard. And I also, like, there is this energy of chaos. So maybe in your past life, it was a really rough time. So it could be like, there could be like a political chaos, or if there could be a war or something that really affected the economy of the whole country that you were living in. And that's why it was also like, that's one of the reasons why it was hard for you guys to make money. So the finances was really a big deal in your past life. So this is connected to this one, the Eight of Pentacles. So I do think that your finances was really a big deal back then in your past life. And maybe it was affecting your health as well. And I do think that, yeah, the communal living, it kind of makes sense. I feel like this is the energy that's giving off, like, you got a really big family, and you were living with all of them, and you had to really do something about it, because you had to feed the people that you were living with, and that was the biggest problem there. So male, female, I feel like this also signifies like there's just a lot of people involved, and authority figures. I do think that this is connected with Celtic. It could be that in your past life, one of the main issues was something that connected to religion. So it is possible that this Celtic card is referring to authority figures in the church. So maybe the church had something to do with how you were making money, or maybe the war that was happening, or the chaos that was happening in the country that you were living in your past life. There was chaos because of religion. So that's something that's possible as well. Or it could also be that you had like a Celtic related past life. But I feel like it's more on religion. So that's about it. Okay, so that's the energy of your past life. Also, the message here, the message that I'm receiving from this past life is that I do think that this past life is the reason why you kind of want to be independent. Like you want to be able to just fend for yourself, and that's it. Like you don't want other people to be involved in your business, and you just want to do things by yourself. Like you really want to be an individual, and maybe you're not as interested in having children or like making a family. So that's also possible. It could be like the reason, this past life could be the reason why you feel that way. Like you just want to be alone. That's what makes you happy, and you just want to work for yourself and get what you want in this life without involving anyone else. So yes, that's one major that's one major that's one major message in this past life. Okay, so let's move on to the lessons that you have to learn from this past life. Okay, writing. Oh, okay. So the support card immediately jumped out to me because I feel like one of the lessons that you have to learn from your past life is asking for support. Like you have to ask for support if things are too hard for you. Don't hesitate to ask for support, to ask for help, because it doesn't make you any less of a person or any less of a strong person if you ask for support. It's 100% okay. Also, letting go. I feel like, yes, one of the major things here in your past life is also like the energy of like really letting things be. And it's also connected, that like this support card is also connected to counseling. So I feel like, yeah, you really needed like maybe you were looking for your spouse, or maybe you were just wanting that kind of partnership so that you can feel that you were supported, but it just wasn't with you. And yeah, this nutrition is also like, it's got something to do with like the lack of money, lack of finances in your past life. So maybe nutrition is something that is, or your health is something major in this life. That's something that you have to, like you're always on the lookout for your health, and maybe you just want to ensure that like you are healthy because of the things that happened to you in your past life, and not being able to like eat nutritious food or something like that. And yeah, like also like the writing, I feel like this is telling, the message here is more on inspiring people. Like you don't have to isolate yourself and just, fend for yourself all the time. Sometimes you can still help other people by inspiring them. You don't have to carry their weight, or you don't have to ask people to carry your weight. It's okay. Sometimes you just have to inspire them to do them, to be able to do the best, of their abilities. And flowers, working with flowers, open your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. Okay, so yes, okay, like you don't have to isolate yourself from other people. It's okay. Don't isolate from other people. And animals, you understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Trust your inner guidance, and animals are a part of your life's work. So I do think that maybe in your past life, you were dealing with animals, maybe also livestock, aside from fishing or making your living from the sea. And this could also be like the reason why in this life you feel connected with animals, maybe cats, dogs, whatever. You feel connected with animals, and that's amazing. So maybe you can learn a lot from animals, and like the energy of animals is something healing for you. So that's the message for you. Like that's the message from your past life. Really let go of the feeling that you have to isolate yourself from people, and that you just have to you do you and not care about anyone else, because maybe you don't want to be a burden, or you don't want to carry anyone's weight. That's an energy that you have to let go, and it's okay to ask for support sometimes. So all in all, that's the reading for this pile. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So for those people who have chosen this pile, this is the Light Seers Tarot deck. We are going to proceed with your past life reading. Okay, so second pile, these are your cards. And right off the bat, I noticed you got the Justice card. So I'm feeling that the message here, the energy here is that maybe in your past life, the kind of job that you were doing was something that is really not something that's not legal. Okay, so I got the Justice card and the Queen of Wands. So I do think that you were very passionate about it, and I do think that it involved a lot of your time and even your physical body. So yes, I do think that this job, this career that you had in your past life was something that was kind of illegal. And I do think that although there were some feelings of guilt here, you didn't want to become overwhelmed by it, because maybe for you weren't doing anything wrong, because you just had to make a living. So you don't care, although there's an element of guilt, but you don't let yourself get overwhelmed with guilt, because it's what you have to do. And I feel like you were there were a lot of people around you too. There were people who were supporting what you were doing, and I do think that you were kind of celebrated as well. There were really a lot of people who were maybe enjoying your company and stuff like that. But maybe you were doing it because there was maybe a lack of resources there. And maybe you don't have an opportunity to try something else. And also I do think that you were kind of enjoying what you were doing as well. So yeah, you got the moon as well. So I do think that you had to keep it on the down low. Like the things that you were doing, you had to keep it on the down low. You didn't want anyone else to find out because it was kind of illegal, so they shouldn't find out. And it was something that, something like out of the norm, something that's not traditional, not a traditional kind of job. And although like you have like a chance to try something else, I feel like it's connected with the Ace of Pentacles. Like although like you have a chance to try something else, you don't want to try something else because like maybe you think that in your past life, this is what you're good at. This is what you enjoy doing, and this is what you really want to do. But like maybe there were people who were against this, like they didn't want you to do this, and that's one of the major problems that you had in your past life. And there was like a lot of giving and more, like there was an imbalance. So maybe you were giving a little bit too much, and the career or the job that you did in your past life, it wasn't really paying you enough. But it was something that you were passionate about. So like it didn't matter because it was something that you're passionate in doing. So those are your cards. Let's check the other cards. Okay, so for the other cards, angels. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so I do think that the kind of job or the kind of work that you did in your past life, you would get persecuted if people found out or if authorities found out what you were doing. So you really had to keep it on the down low, to be quiet about it. Okay, so I got angels. I do think that in your past life, you felt lucky, like you were still divinely guided. Maybe you were also a bit spiritual here, like you were spiritual, although you knew that what you were doing was something that wasn't accepted. You knew that you were guided, and you want to see what you were doing as some sort of art. Okay, like what you were doing was an art form for you. And yes, this was what I was talking about earlier with the Ace of Pentacles. You had to do it because like it's also one way of putting food into the table. So it's something that you really had to do, or you felt like it's something that you had to do, aside from the fact that you kind of enjoy doing it as well. And orphan, I do also think that maybe there wasn't a lot of support coming in from other people. Like you can't really ask for anybody's help. And these are the message and the things that you have to learn from your past life. Okay, career change. Oh, it really flew. Okay. Body work. Oh. You were really in tune with your body. And like you always, okay, so you got two cards okay, so these are the cards that will be talking about the things that you have to learn from your past life. And body work, I do think that's one thing that you have to learn from your past life, is that you have to know your body, know what you want to do with your body, and how is your body going to help you do the things that you want to do. And there's still a lot of energy that needs to be healed there. And career change, it's kind of weird, right? Like like we were talking about in your past life, we're talking about stuff like doing illegal stuff, and there's career change here. So if okay, like, you don't have to tell me, but if you are doing something that you don't want to do, you can always opt for a change. You can always opt for a career change. Maybe in your past life, and also, like, maybe that's the energy that you got from your past life. Like, you keep on doing things because maybe you think, like, you think that you don't have any choice, or maybe you do it because it feels great for a while, but after that you don't feel that nice at all. You can always opt for change, and it's okay. It's okay. And like, there are 3 cards here that are talking about learning, processing information that you get. So school, I feel like one of the things that you have to do, or one of your callings, is to really learn. Like, keep on learning, keep on understanding things. And reading is, I do think that maybe your calling is something that's related to writing. Okay, so it's possible, it's possible that the kind of job that you had, or the kind of the thing that you did in your past life, was something that involved writing. So that's why this is the arts. But I do think that maybe at that time, writing was something that wasn't allowed, or maybe you were writing about something that is not something that was not allowed at that time. So maybe, like, you feel compelled to write, or to author books, or to create poetry, or even just the arts. If you do, just keep on doing that. That's your passion. That's something that came from your past life. Oracle cards, you are able to discern answers and guidance for yourself. I do think that you were smart, even in your past life. Like, you got smart, like, you're wise and you're smart. So yeah, these are your cards. And also children. So okay, maybe it's also a part of, like, your past life. I do think that because of the job that you did in your past life, you didn't have the time to start a family. So if that is also, like, your life now, that's something that you have to heal from your past. If you are wanting to create family, try to, like, if that is your goal, then pursue it. It's okay. There's nothing to be scared of, and you will be great with them. I feel like that's the message here as well. Anyway, that is the reading for pile 2, and we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so if you chose the 3rd pile, which is the Modern Witch Tarot deck, this is the reading for you. Okay, so I do think that, I fil like your family life was very unhappy, and I think that maybe you were married with someone who was really abusive. I feel like that's the energy here. And that's why you had to, yeah, I feel like you were married to someone abusive. That's the 4 of Wands and the Devil here. So yeah, I feel like you were married to someone who was abusive, and that's why the relationship, like, it didn't feel like you were a match. And there wasn't any support for each other. In fact, I don't think that your the person that you were with in your past life was someone who was supporting you, and I think that they controlled everything in your life, in your past life. And it really made things very hard for you. And it kind of made you feel like you were in the bottom. And like every day living with this person was just very, very hard. But still, you kind of struggled through, and like you had to show a brave face. Like you had to really go through it and ignore the fact that the person that you were with was abusive. But I do I do think that in your past life, there was a time when you, I feel like it's connected with the person that you were with. I think that maybe they had like a gambling problem or any kind of like problems that made it difficult to hold money. Like it was really difficult to hold money for you. But I think that for some time, I think that you started to, without breaking the relationship that you had with the person that you were with, you started looking for another love. Okay, that's why you got the Ace of Cups and these two right here. I feel like, yeah, you try to look for another love, a person who will give you passion, a person who will make you feel wanted, and someone who will value the relationship. So you started to look for someone who was like that, and maybe you found someone who knows how to talk. So this person was a talker. And although like the connection that you had with this person wasn't blessed with like the church or anything, because like you were still married with the other person and you were juggling two things at once, you know. Like you had to choose between the person that you really want, the person that was giving you a lot of excitement in your life and love in your life, passion, and the person the person you were with, the one who was abusive. So I feel like that's the energy that you have in your past life. But in the end, I do think that you chose to be with the person who showed you a lot of love. But you knew that it wouldn't be, it would be frowned upon. But you did that because that's what made you, you felt like it was the right thing to do. And I also think it was the right thing to do. But I do think that it was, in your past life, you thought that you had to do it. And you had no other choice. And that's why you did that. Anyway, let's get the supplementary cards. Okay. Love life, okay. This could be really connected with the, with like finding, like you had a problem with your love life before. And maybe that's a reason why, you, in your present life, you might have a problem trusting other people. It could be because of the energy that was brought on over from your past life, and forgiveness is here as well. So this could be talking about like forgiving, letting go of the emotions or the energy that was brought on over from your past life. But lessons and blessings, you maybe learned a lot. You had to learn something from this past life of yours, and you have to learn that lesson for you to receive the blessings. This one is sticking out with me because the Hierophant is also here. So the message that I am getting is really something that is connected to religion. So I do think it is possible that the person, like, you are, or you were connected with someone, or maybe you were in a relationship with someone who was connected to the church, or you were a very strong believer of religion and not wanting to bastardize, air quotes, bastardize religion. So that's the reason why these two cards are here. Also, maybe you were also looking for like a blessing that would come from your relationship with other person. Maybe in your past life you did not have the chance to start a family, and that's why in this life it is possible that you want to have a family, like you are looking for that kind of connection, and that's why like you're looking for, or you are wanting to start a family, and you want to, like, that's one of your main goals. And if that is the case, then that energy was something that was brought on over from your past life. Okay, and for the lessons that you have to learn, Builder. Oh, light and love. Okay. So yes, any remaining negative energy that came from your past life, you have to, you really have to let go of it. Okay, like you have to let go of it, and you have to learn how to express your emotions more properly. Okay, and then you also got Spiritual Teacher, which is also connected with the Monk or Nun and the Hierophant. So that's really interesting. Okay, that's really interesting. The Spiritual Teacher. I think that a religious person was a big part of your past life. Maybe in your past life, maybe even the person that you met after the relationship that failed, maybe that was the religious teacher. Maybe it was someone who was highly religious, and that's why it keeps on coming up. And maybe today in your present self, you are still carrying that energy. Maybe you're still looking for that spiritual teacher, or maybe you want to be a spiritual teacher yourself. Maybe that was an energy that translated from your past to your present. Builder, it's about creating something new, which makes a lot of sense. If you look at the previous cards, it's about creating. It's about a lot like creation. When your life was falling apart in your past life, like you had to build a new life for yourself, which was very admirable. Yoga, exercising, it's about like being flexible as well. So it's about flexibility. You have to learn how to be flexible in this life, and not just be rigid when facing challenges. You have to understand that sometimes you just have to go with the flow, and if you encounter obstacles, then you can just be flexible enough to find other solutions to your problems. Like, you don't have to face your problems head on. Sometimes you can just weave through the problem. Get what I'm saying? And last one, talk to your angels. You are still very divinely guided. And that's one lesson that you have to learn. I do think that in your past life, you were related to someone who was very religious, or maybe you were very, very religious. That's a big part of your life in your past life. Like you were very religious or spiritual, and that's an energy that you still have to this day. So talk to your angels. Your soul is being guided from your past life to this life, and that's just beautiful. Anyway, that is the reading for the third pile. Next on, we will move on to the last reading for the fourth pile. Also, don't forget, if the past 3 piles resonated with you, if you picked one of the 3 piles that I have read for earlier, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so that you will get notified the next time I post another video. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this is the last pile, and if this is the pile that you picked, this is the Tattoo Tarot, and this is also your tarot or your past life reading. Okay, good sign. Good sign. I feel like you were, living in prosperity. And whatever it was that you were doing in your past life, you were doing it well. And it was bringing you a lot of financial abundance as well. Like you weren't living in poverty in your past life. Okay, but I do think that maybe you went through some sort of deception. Maybe someone left you, someone deceived you, a partner, a husband maybe, or a wife left you. Ooh, but Magician and High Priestess. Okay, so and these 2 cards are telling me that you were very spiritual. You knew how to manifest things, and you knew how to get things, and that was also the thing that was bringing you a lot of prosperity. And that's why there was a lot of abundance in your life. And you were ready for everything that will come your way. Okay. So yeah, as I was saying, I do think that maybe you were left in your past life. Maybe someone left you. And it wasn't a good feeling. At some point, maybe you kind of lost your way, and you had to cope with what happened. But I think someone left, and even so, because of what you were doing, because of how spiritually connected and spiritually guided you were, you had no problems manifesting good things in your life, and that's why you were surrounded by a lot of prosperity. And whatever it was that you were manifesting, you were doing something that really gave you a lot of fulfillment, feeling that you were achieving the things that you can do. Like you were helping other people as well. So that's the energy that I'm getting here, which is awesome, And you were ready for things. Like you were ready. Okay, even if someone left you, yes, at some point you weren't able to, at some point you lost your focus, but then after that you were ready. You were ready to take on everything because you went through a lot of bad things, so you were ready to go through everything after that. And you can manifest things. As I was saying, you were very spiritual in your past life, and you knew how to manifest. So that's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, unrequited. As I was saying, right? I feel like, unrequited love and vows. So maybe someone broke their vow in your past life, and if in your present life you have a hard time, or you're having a hard time trusting people, and trust is a really big part of your life, and people actually committing to you. That is because of what your past life was like. That's an energy that was brought on over from your past life. So that's something that you have to think about. Next one, High Priestess. High Priestess. Okay. Right? Like you were really someone spiritual. I think you knew how to use spirituality to go through things and to manifest things in your life. Egypt. This card for me is a card of spirituality as well. Phobias. Okay. For this one, I'm thinking that this could be related to the trust, because like being left behind, and maybe like you still are carrying from your past life. Maybe you're still carrying the energy of like the fear of being left or being cheated on by someone, and so like you don't want to trust people quickly, and sometimes you just let fear take over your life. So that's something, all this also something that you have to understand about yourself and change. Last one, leaving. Okay, someone really left. Someone really left, and that's really weird. The energy of leaving here is something prominent in your life. Maybe it was the thing that fueled your path to spirituality. Maybe you thought that, okay, so you use spirituality as like a wall to lean on after being left behind by someone, maybe your partner or a spouse. So you maybe used spirituality to get over that. Okay, so the lessons that you have to learn from your past life. This artist, okay, like in your past life maybe you were also very connected with the arts, so that's something that you have to foster this life in this lifetime. Also, like whatever it is that you are doing, if you have a hobby and you want to be more proficient in your hobby, you need to keep on practicing. Just like also, like I'm going to connect it with the spirituality from your past life. If you in your past life practiced spirituality, maybe even witchcraft, if you feel the need, or if you feel the tug to do that again, then don't be shy. Try it out. Read, try to learn from books and people, so that you will feel more connected with who you were in your past life. Crystals. Ooh, maybe you even collect crystals now. And healer. Okay. Maybe in your past life you also were someone who knew how to heal, and that's something that could have been carried over to this life. Like maybe you kind of wonder why sometimes, when you have a friend who is feeling really down in the dumps, and they're just really sad, and you start talking to them, and then suddenly they tell you that, hey, I'm actually starting to feel a lot better now. Maybe that's something that you carried on because maybe you had this very positive energy, so that's something that could have been carried on over from your past life. And freedom and speaker. Okay. These two ones are also, the freedom one could be something that is connected to the energy that you have to release. You need to free yourself from the phobia, from the fear of being left by a person, or being left by a person that you love, or the fear of not, or the fear of committing because you're scared, because like you aren't sure if the person is really willing to commit, you know? So that's something that you have to free yourself from. And speaking is something that was carried on over to this life. Maybe you're a good speaker, but you just have to foster that energy, foster that talent of yours. Try to learn whatever it is that you are good at. Try to learn it, try to be more proficient at it, and then maybe, you know, talking about it and speaking about it, teaching others how to do it. It's something that was carried on over to this life, and something that could help you become, or something that could help you find your spiritual path or your life path. So anyway, these are your cards. These are so beautiful, very spiritual. I love it. If these are your cards, then I hope it resonated with you. Alright, so we are done with the past life readings. If the readings resonated with you, again, just take the things, or take the lessons that these readings brought with them. And if the readings did not resonate with you, it's also fine. Just take the things, also, like, take the things that made sense and leave the rest behind. Take what flows and let the rest flow. Also, if the readings resonated, you know what to do. Like this video and subscribe to my channel, and also ring the notification bell so that next time I post a video you will get notified. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.